somebody tunes in 'cause I'm trying to figure out how I sound. Hopefully, it's okay. Biggest issue it seems to have had over the years of creating content, or one of them, is audio quality. People tell me to clean it up, get a mic, do something like that. So I'm wondering if the mic I'm wearing today is effective. Uh, because I really want to jump back in there, start talking about a few things, right? Number one, how to go about fixing your lawn naturally. Uh, Follow up on some of them comments. I have a couple like lawn leveling videos and one I'm just ranting away, but I don't delete it because I always get comments on it about how it's crappy video. So appreciate those comments. I have definitely made some better ones. Unfortunately, they don't get found. Hey, Debbie, what's up on YouTube? Baller, can you hear me? How is the sound? I would really like to know. So anyway, jump back in here, start talking about again about how to fix the lawn naturally and get away from the treat and defeat mentalities. Thank you so much, Debbie. I really appreciate that. Um, and want to produce better content, better audio quality, but and be informative. So people ask often, when is the good time to fix your lawn? And I would say now, meaning anytime you're ready to start is a good time. If it is in rough condition, down here in the south, I'm in League City, Texas, Gulf Coast area, you, our soil does not go dormant, so you can always feed the soil. Now, how we go about that does change depending on the time of year. So, right now, you want to stay away from higher nitrogen products, they do not work. Uh, hey, that is good, Brittany. Get started. Stay away from high nitrogen products. They're not going to be as effective. You are going to basically be wasting a lot of nitrogen, right? Especially with your typical fertilizers. However, there's stuff like Microlife Hybrid. It's 2005. Most people wouldn't recommend putting that down right now, but if you're going to use stuff like compost, molasses, that's going to feed soil microbes, encourage microbial activity, then you will definitely increase soil temperature a little bit, which will help release the nitrogen source that's in a product like Microlife Hybrid. So you will get effectiveness in there, and because it's a urea methylene nitrogen source, it's slow release, so you won't lose very much of it either throughout the winter time in those moments that we have where it really warms up. Um, so Debbie, Brittany, y'all are here in Lake City. You know how we get those days in January, February, probably December too, where it starts to feel like spring, right? At least for me, 8 years in this side of fixing lawns, I swear we get 70-degree days. People are calling like it's already springtime in February. I'm like, hold on, we can't do the same work like after mid March. It really starts to turn on in a different way. Um, so again, you can get started on it now. Do get started on it now, but start with stuff like a Humates Plus, a slow release fertilizer like in Microlife Hybrid. Or if you are in a different area, you happen to catch this video, just they always show on all fertilizers the guaranteed analysis. And my preferred nitrogen sources are urea-methylene, urea-formaldehyde, because they're excellent slow release. So whenever you put them down, they're going to pretty well stay there until soil warms up and eats up that product and releases it, because it's literally what happens, right? Microbes eat it, release it, and it gets utilized by your plant. Uh, and I love to start on really rough lawns now because then you're ahead of the game. I swear every year people are like, oh, I want to wait till spring. If your lawn looks like dirt, okay, trash, boo boo, don't start, don't wait till spring. Get ahead of the game so while everyone is mad dashing for the Home Depot and stuff like that come March, or blowing me up trying to get on my schedule, because it'll happen and I'm grateful for that. But you can get ahead of the game. So you can watch everything start to transition on your lawn come spring if you start working on it now. Okay, it's compost top dressing, stuff like Humates Plus. There's products out there like of course, it eludes me right now. Impro Soil Enhancer from Ewing. That's not the other one I'm thinking of. It's like a granular compost. We have so many issues with trying to figure out whether we have bug damage or fungus. Okay, so that's an excellent comment. Thank you, Brittany, for that. And to that, I would say this. Right now, you probably have both because we had a super hot, dry summer. If the lawn was stressed out, most likely you had chinch bugs. Now that we've gone into fall, you probably have lots of signs of brown patch. So you had both, right? It's very common, happens all the time. However, quit putting something down. Now I'm going to get to this. We're going to walk through this essentially, right? Um, because no matter where the problems are at, right, whether it was chinch bug damage, whether it's brown patch right now, well, it's probably signs of both. Got some heat stress. And if you keep putting stuff down, you're also, it's like basically putting down too much antibiotics. You know, you keep taking them, they quit working. Stuff can get really worse, right, with your gut with too much antibiotics. Well, it's the very same when you put down too many insecticides and fungicides, right? Especially without putting back proper soil foods and biostimulants. Biostimulants can be as simple as sugar, seriously, molasses, humic acid, seaweed, and I will always go back to compost because as these products like liquid humates from Medina, and I'll always talk about Humates Plus from Microlife just because that stuff is rock solid. You can put it down all year long and you will have benefits on the lawn. However, putting down a big physical product like compost, good quality compost, okay, not just stuff from Home Depot. Groupon Gardens and the nursery over here in Dickinson both carry quality compost products and I top dress lawns, but nothing will outweigh and literally and figuratively speaking the physical organic matter being replaced back into that lawn because if that lawn got super stressed by heat and by chinch bugs and now fungus, and then you put down insecticides and fungicides, it's like all the good uh, microbiota. I don't know how they say that one word, but basically, like, it's almost like fiber, right? Adding quality fiber to the soil for everything to utilize and release nutrients. Because if you put down, say, like a weed and feed or a 3-in-1 fertilizer, you do have fertilizer, right? But it's locked up by everything else, killing stuff off. And we don't want that. We want to release all the goods and release that nitrogen and start feeding good bacteria and good fungi. Because now the chinch bugs are not active, so they're not doing anything. Quit fighting them. And even with the brown patch fungus problem, I will pretty much always deter people from using a fungicide because it also has unintended effects. It it doesn't discriminate, right? It kills good fungus with bad fungus. So it's kind of like where are you at? How far do you want to go? And a big factor is what's your budget, right? So you're like, hey AJ, I got this big old lawn. You know, my budget is $100, and I'm gonna say, well, go down to Groupons and go get like 2 bags of Humates Plus and put that down and water it because you're gonna start to have a positive impact on your soil and on your lawn with $100. Now, if you say, hey, you know, I got $1,200 budget, you may not even need the whole budget. I don't know the size of the lawn, things like that, but just well, we can help you have a beautiful lawn, right? Definitely. But I'm just saying, like, these are, considerations to have because everyone's in a different place, right? And we got Christmas coming up. So, people do have different factors that I can appreciate and respect. And but I guess my point in saying that is like there is a place to start no matter where you're at that's going to make a positive impact. So, if it comes down to like I just want a beautiful lawn, then I would say like, hey, look, let's feed this sucker. Let's put some soil food in there. Let's put some slow release fertilizer. Uh, any idea all the ruts in the lawn? No, all the ruts in the lawn is going to be from the mower, and they typically follow the same path. Like they get a path in the lawn, they follow it. I know I used to cut grass. It's kind of how I got into this side of it. And unfortunately, as we have our super wet moments that we have, people got to get their jobs done. People will be calling, hey, man, when are you going to get my lawn done? It could have just poured yesterday, right? Lawn is still mushy, but we want it done. And, on our side, kind of the consumer, rightfully so, we want the lawn to be well kept. Don't want to get it overgrown. But on the lawn maintenance side, it's always a tough place. Like you want to get the job done, you want to get paid, but if we go out on a lawn, boom, day after it rains, they're on big walk behinds, sometimes big zero turns, and if you watch them, they're following that path. I guarantee the next time you watch your lawn care guys, those ruts are going to be where those wheels are at. And sometimes it's tough to not do that, and that's where occasionally every couple of years doing something like adding sand to the lawn to level it out will really help mitigate that problem. We do our own lawn. So do you follow the same paths? Have you mowed it when it was really wet? Because typically that'll cause some ruts. And if it's just bumpiness, then has it always been on level? Because that could have been a problem from the start. And in that case, let's bring in some sand, right? Because sand is the only way that's going to help smooth that out and fill that out. Not when wet. Good. Uh, so if you've always done your own lawn and you don't mow it when it's wet, uh, yeah, I can understand it can be hard to change the path, right? You get a rhythm, you get a pattern in the lawn. And it happens over time, right? And again, the best way to kind of course correct if you can't change the pattern in the lawn is add sand. I personally recommend Mason sand. It's the cleanest, it's the easiest to spread. And the good thing about Mason sand is you can add whatever you want to it. If you're getting topsoil and all that, there's already stuff in it and it's harder to adjust. You get straight Mason sand, you can add compost to it, you can add fertilizer to it, you can amend it and improve it so much easier than say a topsoil or even a compost mix. I love compost. I love flower bed mixes for top dressing lawns. However, they're not good for leveling and smoothing out because literally the soil eats up that compost. So it has a very short term effect in terms of smoothing out the lawn. It'll basically go back similar to the way it was. But sand will change it for a very long period of time. Um, I thank you so much for popping in. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you for the comments too. That was freaking awesome. I'm gonna be back on here soon. If you don't already, Brittany, I'm also on Facebook, but because of this interaction, you've just encouraged me to like, I really want to move forward and with YouTube more than Facebook. Seems just better for pictures and posts, right? Which is great, very helpful. However, this kind of content, um, I I really prefer it better. Yeah. Well, then give me a call, Brittany. We could set up give you an estimate, see what needs to happen on the lawn, and get it looking beautiful for next year. So again, thank you guys very much. Let's do it. And I will be back soon. because this was freaking awesome, and I'm glad the sound was so much better. Y'all have a super groovy day. We'll be out spraying grass. Peace.